Alright everyone, I want to thank you all for joining me once more on some more Umineko. So it's amazing to think, guys, that currently Ava is the new Beatrice, the new witch appointed apparently, and it's so jarring for me because I always assumed that Beatrice, or Beato for that matter, would always be the witch throughout all 8 episodes. But again, this game is full of surprises, which is why I don't know how long this will last for her. Or maybe it'll only last until this episode and we'll have Beato back as the main witch again, starting on episode 4 all the way to 8. But until then, it's questionable, and I'm looking forward to seeing how episode 3 will come, to its conclusion, because it's just new and odd for me, and I'm left wondering, like everything. As usual, every time I think I have something or I'm onto it, it gets like subverted. So if anything else, guys, hope you all continue to enjoy. Thank you all for the love and support. You guys are the best. Let's go. Alright everyone, welcome back.
あれが急に心配だと言い出して。寝ぼけたみたいなんです。急にガバッと起き出して、バラが心配だ、バラが心配だって言い出して。マリアちゃん、落ち着いて。それは夢なんだよ。
少し静かにしなさいって言ってるでしょ! The children were taken aback by the sudden rise in the tone of Rosa's voice. But Maria's crying just grew louder, and her tantrum just grew fiercer.
ローザさん、子供を頭ごなしに叱ってはいけませんぞ。こういう時は温かい牛乳などを与えると良いものです。ここにあるかね？
さっき朝食代わりに出した牛乳で空っぽです。
誰か子供用の鎮静剤とか持ってるか？ほら、あの銀の粒みてえなやつとか。
持ってるわよ。ああ、今探して飲ませるから。
Without hiding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed her handbag that she had placed on the sofa and fished around for the medicine. It seemed that she had brought some child-use sedatives for Maria's tantrums. She found it and tipped the bottle into her palm, but it seemed to be empty. Irritated, Rosa shook the bottle several times, but that didn't change the fact that nothing was in there. All the while, Maria's crying was growing more and more intense. Meanwhile, Ava was lying in bed covered by the bedding. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding the handkerchief soaked in water.
こら、ずいぶんひどい熱や。きっと、親族会議の毒気にやられてもうたんやな。今はもう、他の親族たちのことは全部忘れるんや。な。
As Hideyoshi spoke to her kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief gently on Ava's burning forehead. Ava rested her own hand on top of his.
あなたの手、ひんやりして気持ちいい。
わしの手が気持ちいいようじゃ、だいぶ熱が出とるな。安心せい。すぐに薬が効いてくるわ。それにな、わしの手は魔法の手なんや。
This guy has always been a good husband to her too. He's been a good dad. Like, overall, I never thought for once he would be like, a perp, a suspect, or even someone that could even do something horrible. That could, again, easily change in the future episodes. But right now, he's always been this chill dude, And I like him.
こうしてエヴァの額に手を当てとるとな、どんな熱も立ちどころに治ってしまうんや。
そうね。 あなたの手で私の熱が引かなかったことは一度もないものね。
そうや。わしの手があれば医者いらずやで。安心して目をつむるんや。すぐにわしの魔法でぐんぐん熱が下がるからな。
うん、知ってる。あなたの魔法を感じるもの。
Hideyoshi was about to say they called that the placebo effect, but he stopped. If Ava said that she could feel magic from his hand, then that was alright for now.
魔法って本当にあるのかしら。
おお。あるで。信じる者にしかわからへんけどな。そういう魔法は案外世の中にたくさんあるもんや。
魔法が実在するなら、やっぱり魔女も実在するのかしら。
ん？森の魔女ベアトリーチェのことかいな。信じる者にはおるやろな。神様と同じや。信心深い人の前にしか姿を現さんのや。
私もね、昔魔法が使えたの。
ほう、ほんまかいな。じゃあお前も魔女やったんやな。
私がね、絶対に叶えたい夢があって、それを強く願って努力すると、それは必ず叶ったの。私はその魔法で、いつも成績は一番だったし、生徒会長にだってなったし、入りたい大学にも実力で入れたし。いつだって、どんな願いだって叶えてきたわ。
そうやな。お前の魔法はいつだって大したもんや。お前は確かに魔女や。そして誰にも負けん努力家や。わしゃよう知っとるで。
私ね、子供の頃からずっと心の中にもう一人の自分がいて、いつも私を励ましてくれたの。そしてその自分は魔女だったわ。森の魔女ベアトリーチェなんて信じなかった。もし六軒島に魔女がいるとしたら、それは私の心の中の魔女のことだってずっと信じてきた。その魔女の自分に私はすごい感謝してる。あなたに出会わせてくれてよかったなっていつも感謝してる。
病気の時のお前はいつも気弱すぎや。今は何も言わんでええ。熱が下がるまでずーっとこうしてるからな。
絶対に手を離さないでね。なんだか私、自分が自分でなくなるような気がして、さっきから怖いの。私の中の魔女がベアトリーチェに触発されて、どんどん強くなるような気がして、なんだか私を飲み込んでしまいそうな気がするの。
大丈夫や。わしが一緒にいる限り、なんも恐れることなんてあらへん。ほら、ちょいとヤバめな国に旅行に行った時、バスごと強盗にやったことあったやろ。わしが撃退したんやで。
あなた、金時計を渡して拝み倒しただけだったじゃない。
Ah, but that was his magic.
かっこ悪いけど、かっこよかったわ。この手、絶対に離さないでね。眠っても絶対に離さないでね。そして何か不気味なものが忍び込んできても私を守ってね。
おう、任せとかんかい。 だから、今は安心して眠るんやで。すぐに薬と、わしの魔法が効いてくるからな。
Ava finally calmed her heart and closed her eyes. Just then, there was the sound of a door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seemed that Maria was having a tantrum and screams of ooh ooh could be heard, along with Rose's rebuking yells. That was probably very annoying to listen to, or maybe it was taking a toll on her headache. Ava moaned as though in pain and buried herself in the covers. It was easy to guess what was happening. Maria had probably had a tantrum for some reason, gone down to the lobby, and when Rosa had scolded her for it, they had started arguing. And then the looks of the rest of the family had been too much to bear, so Rosa had taken Maria out into the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to interfere with Rosa and Maria's problems. Just for now, since Ava's condition was so bad, he wanted to take their ruckus somewhere else.
ちょいと待っとれや。静かにするようお願いしてくるわ。
早く戻ってきて。
大丈夫や。この部屋から出んて。
Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face out into the corridor. He immediately met Rosa's gaze.
大丈夫かいな、ローザさん。
ごめんなさい。うるさくして起こしちゃったかしら。
マリアちゃん、ごめんな。エヴァおばさんな、具合が悪くて寝とるんや。すまんが、ちょいと静かにしてもらえるか。
Maria's tone didn't change after being asked by Hideyoshi. She kept whining and repeating, "My rose, my rose." Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth, and carried her off towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. They would still probably be clamorous for a while yet, but he had at least warned her. Hoping that Rosa would show her capabilities as a mother, Hideyoshi closed the door.
またマリアちゃんが泣いてるの？
そうみたいやな。ローザさんも大変や。それを思えば、うちのジョージはできすぎや。親が感謝したいくらいやで。
そうね。
おお、すまんすまん。ほら、魔法の手やで。
He put his hand on Ava's forehead again. Maybe there really was a magical power in that hand. A truly peaceful look rose to Ava's face, and bit by bit she began to drift off into the land of sleep. As he had promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead. By the entrance with her hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at a loss at what to do next. She had been unable to withstand everyone's gaze in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs before dashing out of the lobby. And when she went out into the corridor, Hideyoshi had told her that she was being too noisy. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? She felt as though she was about to cry in frustration. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear, and tried to persuade Maria in as calm a voice as she could manage.
マリアはそんなにもバラが見たいのね。
Maria nodded her head several times, moaning, "Ooh, ooh."
どうしてそんなにバラが見たいの？お母さんが聞いてあげるから静かに話して。叫んだら殴るわよ。
マリアのバラ、ベアトリーチェに蘇らせてもらったの。また折れちゃってるかも。マリアはそれが心配。確かめないと眠れない。
It seemed that she was still making a fuss about that marked rose from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache throbbing again, but she was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming.
とにかく今はみんな大変なの。だからママたちに迷惑をかけないで。バラの話は明日雨が上がったら好きにしていいから。だから今は聞き分けなさい。
マリアのベアトリーチェのバラ。
Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly and had gotten her agitated again. Rosa realized that it was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. But Maria thought that was directed at her, and her crying grew even fiercer.
お願いだから静かにして。どうしたらあなたは泣き止むの？どうしたらあなたはママの言うことを聞いてくれるの？
Abruptly, Maria stopped crying unnaturally fast. Then she turned around and muttered.
マリアのバラを見たら、ちゃんと明日まで静かにしてるよ。
See how creepy that is?
本当？
うん。バラ庭園に行って、マリアのバラを見たら、もうおとなしくする。
I don't like that. Tell her no.
本当だよ、ママ。
If it would keep Maria quiet for the time being, Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. She did think it might be a bit reckless, but in the end, no murder or anything of the sort had actually occurred. All of that clamor since this morning had been a farce set up by Kinzo. If you carefully thought about that chain of locked rooms, it communicated more clearly than anything that it was all an act by the victims themselves.
本当にバラを見たらもうおとなしくする？
Don't go out with her right now.
うん。
Look at that look. I don't trust it.
本当だよ、ママ。
Oh, no, definitely don't go out now with that kihihi again.
痛い。
Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh and lightly hit Maria with her fist, as she shrugged as though giving up.
わかったわ。一目見たら納得するのよ。いいわね。
うん、ママ。
I don't like that at all.
約束する。
Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun. It's alright. It's only a farce. There was never a murderer on this island in the first place.
くそ、待てよローザおばさん。ローザおばさんとマリアが第二の番の犠牲者なのか。くそくそくそ、誰か気づけよ、呼び止めろ。今の親父たちや俺たちは何をしてるんだ。
Does Battler not notice that, like, I get he knows in the previous episodes that Maria's acting was always acting off, but come on, that's a huge red flag.
ローザ親子の痛々しい関係に気を使ってわざわざ話題を変えておるぞ。そなたらも2階へ上がりテレビを見ながら話題を変えておる。
くそったれ、誰か気づけよ。一番近くにいるのは誰だよ。秀吉おじさんか。頼むよ、玄関から2人が出ていくのを気づいてくれよ。
届かん届かん。2人のささやかな時間を邪魔してくれるな。
Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Ava's forehead. He didn't notice that Rosa and Maria were going outside through the front door at all. In that case, there was no way that the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice either. And the cousin's room upstairs was even worse.
そなたは何を慌てておるのか。第一の晩にて犯人は事故死したとの大胆な察してにてわらわを打ち破ったではないか。ならばもうこの島に犯人はおらぬことになるぞ。何を心配する必要があるというのか。
うるせえよ、しらしらしいんだよ。誰か引き止めろ、2人が殺されるんだ。誰か止めろ。
It honestly seems like Maria is the one that's going to be leading Rosa to her death, rather than the two of them dying. But it also won't come as a surprise because they also have the second Twilight to fulfill. There was no way that Battler's voiceless scream would reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be seen in the Rose Garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately the wind had died down a little. No, maybe that wasn't fortunate. Because if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa would surely have hesitated to go outside. Maria found her rose with the gold lace and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted with the promise that Maria would only have one look at it, but she didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been enough later on. So she decided to go along with her until she was satisfied. She believed that there wasn't a culprit, but if by any chance she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that faintly herself. If things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. Keeping the innocently rejoicing Maria in the corner of her eye, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. Were her eyes just tired? Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden with all its wind and rain. Gold-colored. It had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa, it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes.
Eva? 無理せんで、やっぱり南條先生を呼んでこんか？
大丈夫だから。この手を離さないで。お願いだから。離さないで。
Ava was breathing wildly. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night and that things had been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though he understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that Ava's sudden fever was the sign of some serious illness. Several times Hideyoshi suggested to call Dr. Nanjo, but Ava resisted firmly, pleading with him and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away.
わかった。でもな、お昼になったら必ず南條先生に見てもらうんやで。それを約束できるならずっとここにいてお前の手を握ったるからな。こうしてギャーッとな。
ありがとう。大丈夫よ。あなたの手の魔法で必ずこんな熱なんか下がっちゃうから。
Even as she said that, Ava's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest.
離さないで。離さないで。誰？
She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush. Rosa threw away her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the figure beyond the bush showed itself.
エヴァおばさん。
びっくりしたわ。姉さんなの？何かご用？さっきの話の続きなの？
Uh-oh.
ええ、そうよ。お父様の黄金の話よ。
お願いだからマリアの前では遠慮して。ちゃんと約束は守ってるわよ。姉さんの悪巧みの邪魔はしないわ。
悪巧み？何それ？
姉さんが何を考えていても勝手よ。私は邪魔する気なんてない。だから マリアの前では許して。私は分け前さえもらえれば十分なの。
分け前
Ava started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Then Maria said just one thing.
おばさん、誰？
That's quite the laugh.
私のもの。この黄金の魔女、ベアトリーチェのものよ。
Now, I'm trying to understand if this is her other personality that came into the picture now, or if the Ava that's in the bed changed into this Ava, Beatrice, finally. Or both.
Eva! 大丈夫か Eva! Eva! Eva!
握っていて離さないで。私じゃない誰かに連れ去られないように。
Ah, okay, so the other personality is starting to take over, which is probably why, okay.
私の手を握っていて離さないで。お前が何を努力したの？何も努力してない。いつも私たちの影に隠れてのらりくらり。いつも戦わずに影から影へと逃げ回っていたお前に、後宮家の黄金を無心する資格など本当にあると思ってるの？あれはすべて私のもの。後宮家当主にして新しき黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェの名を継承した私だけのもの。
ベアトリーチェ。ベアトリーチェだ。ママ、ベアトリーチェ。
Frolicking around, Maria jumped at her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high.
姉さんよね。姉さんなのよね。
違うわ。私はもはやあなたの姉であった存在ではないの。
じゃあ、あんた誰なのよ。ベアトリーチェだとでも言うの？そんなはずはない。あんたは19年前に死んだのよ。ええ、確かに死んでいたわ。だって私、あなたの頭が割れているところをはっきり見たもの。その中身が溢れ出しているのを昨日のことのように思い出せる。そのあんたがどうして生きてここにいるのよ。
黄金の魔女に死の概念などないの。黄金の魔女とベアトリーチェの名は永遠に受け継がれてゆくわ。お前が知っていたベアトリーチェは死を迎えたかもしれないが、今やそれは私の名である。故に無限。ベアトリーチェに死の概念はないの。
哀れね、姉さん。
That gold has caused you to lose the distinction between fantasy and reality.
もはや私はお前の姉ではないというのに。さて、新しきベアトリーチェとして自らの復活の儀式を引き継ぐわ。ロノウェ、私はどうすればいいの？
ご随意のままに。もはやベアトリーチェ様にはどのような思いも実現できる力がおありです。少し扱えばなれるでしょう。
不甲斐なき元妹よ。私が魔女として初めて捧げる最初の生贄に選ばれたことを光栄に思うがいい。
Well, who could have foresaw this coming? Right? The moment they brought up the fact that she was gonna become the new witch, I was like, oh, she's gonna inherit the same ritual that she has to but pull on everyone here. So she is gonna be the one to kill everyone.
第2の番に寄り添う2人を私がこの手で引き裂く。
Alright guys, I'm gonna end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. This has been one heck of an entertainment to see, cause holy cow. Well, if anything else, we're gonna continue on the next one and see how this new Beatrice continues on, you know?